I'm leaving.
We just don't need your kind around here.
Interesting facts about famous people.
John Wayne, co-stars, 10 of the best. John Wayne, like any actor, had his favourite people he liked to work with, whether directors and other behind-the-camera characters like John Ford, etc. Today we will take a look at co-stars he liked to work with, some more than once. Just looking at the guys today, I have a couple of videos on his favourite leading ladies in the channel. Make sure you check them out. If you enjoy this video, take a peek at my channel for more. The link's in the description. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to share with your friends. The more the merrier. Dolor. Strange to say, but Duke didn't really like horses. But he did have a favourite in his later years. The sorrel gelding, called Dolor, no A, owned by Dick Webb Movie Productions. On The Shootist, Wayne made alterations to the script to give his equestrian friend proper screen time. He incorporated several mentions of Dolor's name into the film. Dolor was featured in Big Jake, The Cowboys, True Grit, Rooster Cogburn, Chisholm, The Train Robbers, and The Shootist. Dolor died at the age of 27 in 1995. Reportedly, he was stuffed. Henry Fonda, Fort Apache, 1948. Henry Fonda and John Wayne were both cast in How the West Was Won, The Longest Day, and In Harm's Way. It was only the earlier Fort Apache that they actually co-starred with each other on screen. A small scene in Harm's Way notwithstanding, Fonda is great in Fort Apache as Lieutenant Colonel Owen Thursday, Wayne as Captain York, the object of Thursday's disdain due to his sympathetic treatment of the Apache leader, Cochise. The sparks really do fly between the two of them whenever they butt heads together. Thursday sacrifices himself and his command in a doomed encounter with the Apaches, leaving Kirby, who has been consigned to non-battle duties, to pick up the pieces. In the spirit of the later Ford classic, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, Kirby decides that when the legend becomes fact, you should print the legend, in the process protecting Kirby's legacy. Montgomery Clift, Red River, 1948. I find it hard to think of a more inverse actor to co-star with John Wayne than Montgomery Clift. The gap that separates their different approaches to acting is so wide, you could drive a herd of cattle between them. Strangely, they work well together, as father and adopted son in the Howard Hawks film, Red River. Watch Clift's performance and you'll see he hardly does or says anything that might crowd Wayne off the screen, but still delivers a performance equal to that of the Duke. Wayne had some reservations about whether Clift could deliver a believable performance, but his co-star holds his own on screen, along with Wayne. Robert Mitchum, El Dorado, 1966. Mitchum and Wayne both appear in The Longest Day. It wasn't until El Dorado that they actually played with each other on screen. The virtual remake of Rio Bravo, also directed by Howard Hawks, Mitchum reprises Dean Martin's role from Bravo as Sheriff J.P. Hurrah. Like Dude, also takes to the bottle after an unhappy relationship with a woman. And just like Dean Martin, Mitchum is one of the few actors to be equal to Wayne on screen, both displaying chemistry that Wayne and Martin had in Rio Bravo. Richard Boone, Big Jake, 1971. Boone was billed as a guest star in The Alamo, playing Sam Houston, but it is his performance in Big Jake that qualifies him as a bona fide Wayne co-star. Billed 5th on the cast list, as one of the many killers lining up in The Shootist to send J.B. Books to meet his maker, failing to do so. Billed 2nd to Wayne's Big Jake, a vicious gang leader, John Fane, dispatched by Christopher Mitchum, played one of Big Jake's sons. Kirk Douglas, The War Wagon, 1967. Before appearing together in Cast a Giant Shadow and The War Wagon, Wayne and Douglas met each other at a screening of Lust for Life, where Kirk Douglas played French painter Vincent van Gogh. Duke took Douglas to task for playing such a weak character. Seeing as we are on YouTube, I can't repeat the precise word Wayne used to describe Van Gogh. Douglas, standing his ground, told Wayne that he was an actor. Films are make-believe anyway. They're not real, and besides, you're not really John Wayne either. It was good to see Douglas taking more of a John Wayne approach to his role as gunfighter, Lomax. The two seemed to enjoy sparring with each other on screen, a much more enjoyable experience than their previous screen pairing in Cast a Giant Shadow. James Stewart, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, 1962. John Wayne is really the feature star of The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. James Stewart, as lawyer Rance Stoddard, gives Duke a run for his money in the acting department. The first time they had acted together, despite the fact that they were way too old to be courting Vera Miles, over 20 years younger than them, Stewart turned out to be one of the best of Duke's co-stars. A shame they didn't work more together. Reinforced by Stewart's memorable cameo in The Shootist as the doctor who tells Wayne he'd have to gut him like a fish in order to remove the tumour that's killing him. Dean Martin, Rio Bravo, 1959. There is a case that could be made that Rio Bravo is just as much a Dean Martin film as it's Wayne's. After splitting with long-term co-star Jerry Lewis, Martin proved his abilities in The Young Lions, opposite Marlon Brando and Montgomery Clift. Then a year later in Rio Bravo as the drunkard Sheriff Dude, the first character to appear in the film, skulking into a saloon and looking for a drink, smacking Wayne, playing John T. Clance, when he denies him the embarrassment of retrieving a silver dollar thrown into a spittoon by the villainous Joe Burdette, Claude Akins. Later, Martin redeems himself by pouring a glass of whiskey back into a bottle without spilling a drop. 6 years later, Martin is once again Wayne's co-star in The Sons of Katie Elder, playing Duke's brother. Martin acquits himself relatively well. His role as Dude in Rio Bravo is a better performance. Richard Widmark, The Alamo, 1960. The Alamo had three things going for it. First of all, the soundtrack by Dmitri Tiomkin. Secondly, the battle and other action sequences. Third, Richard Widmark's superb performance as Jim Bowie. I heard somewhere that the first time Wayne met Widmark, years before they made The Alamo, Wayne referred to him as that giggling SOB, referring to Widmark as Psycho Tommy Udo in the noir thriller Kiss of Death. Despite social setbacks among the two of them, Widmark emerged from the film with acting kudos, pushing Duke as Davy, John Wayne Crockett, and Lawrence Harvey's posturing as William Travis into second and third place in the acting stakes. The two never starred together again, although they both appeared separately in the later How the West Was Won. Lee Marvin, Donovan's Reef, 1963. Marvin's first appearance opposite Wayne was in The Comancheros as the scalped killer, Tully Crow. He's fifth in the cast list, and it's a small part, Wayne dispatching him early in the film. At Wayne's recommendation, the next year, they played together in The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, Marvin as the villain and playing the role to the max. His co-starring role in Donovan's Reef as Thomas Aloysius Boats Gilhooney. Not necessarily a film that showed either Wayne or Marvin at their best, nor director John Ford for that matter. Their scenes together are the highlight of the film, that is otherwise short on action. Wayne and Marvin's characters share the same birthday, which they celebrate by punching each other's lights out every year. So there you have it. Let me know what other John Wayne co-stars you enjoyed watching and in which movies. A warm welcome to any new viewers. Thank you for your time today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate your likes and subscribers. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to get my new videos. Share with your friends. Drop me your comments. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.